Hey guys, this is Carson. Finally getting around to making another video. I guess I'm just going to try and do a series of videos just showing off the collection. Probably a lot of things that you guys seen before, maybe one or two things that you didn't know were out there because they're just older. So I'll just make each video about a particular brand of knife, the knives in that brand, just go over them real quick, and then I'll just make another video about a different company. So here's my knife box. That Harbor Freight $70 box I think is pretty good. The handle's good for it being loaded with knives. Got some cool stickers. Got my submarine service sticker. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. What I keep in it, basically my knife sharpening stuff, different oils, some extra stickers. Finally found one of those Benchmade mats like everybody else has, so now I'm cool. Then you drop it down here, and I got it pretty much Benchmade's, Bucks, or Spyderco's, the Bucks, just smaller ones, other ones, and then just odds and ends screwdrivers, Loctite, little gas station multi-tools. I got most of my fixed blades are moved out, so might make room for some folders down here. But yeah, we'll get into it. I figure we'll start with my buck knife collection. All right, I'm gonna flip you around, put you up here. All right, and then I'll try not to get disoriented. Come on. There we go. All right, I'll try and keep in mind that everything's backwards. And you too, please keep that in mind. All right, so we'll start off with Buck 110. Everybody, you guys know what a 110 is. Not much I have to say. Awesome. It's always bigger than I remember it being, so that's kind of cool. It's not some tiny little pocket knife. But so there's that. These guys are awesome. These are the Buck Vantage Pros. This one just feels like a plasticky thing. I think maybe it's older. I didn't check the date stamp like I check on other Bucks. This one's brand new with the blue and black G10. But I saw this one at a pawn shop. It looked like somebody had been like they dipped it in acid or something. Not an acid etch, like dipped it in like junk and just let it sit there. So it took a while to clean it all off. So because of all that, I got it at a great deal. There was a chip out of the knife, so I'm wondering if maybe I'll make it a choil, or maybe just send one serration up in there deep for a little rope cutter or strap cutter or something like that. Just do something with it besides just having a big chunk out of the blade. But these are great. I always wish the handle was a little bit longer because it's right there where the pinky comes off. But I think EDC wise, it is a perfect handle amount. As who was it? The last Boy Scout says, good in your hand, great in your pocket. And then there's great in your hand, good in your pocket. Good in your pocket being the bigger ones. Now this one, I didn't realize at first, basically has the same handle profile and the same flipper. This is the Paradigm with the shift. So you don't really see anything in there. Just slide that out of the way. And it shuts. And you get it real fast. And people don't even realize how you did it, how to put it back, or how to open it. But everything's very similar. It's just this one's a little more classier. S30V all around, so that's cool. Now, to go in a different route, the Strider Bucks, which I didn't know existed until a few months ago when I was at an antique shop and they had this buck knife. And I opened it up, it said Strider on it. So obviously, because I was ignorant of the fact that they had done a collaboration, I figured it must be a fake. So did some research, found out that Buck and Strider did do a collaboration for a few years, and and highly collectible from what I've seen. Brand new one, I guess back then was about $50, and a brand new one now with 420 HC, just like this one in brand new condition, is going for like $150 on eBay. So seems like they're pretty collectible. Mine's used. I'm not going to pay $150 for 420 HC. And with this plasticky, like, it feels cheap. I mean, I don't know what the top handle materials were back in, what, I think 2010, so 6 years ago. Be awesome if they could do that with that. It'd be a pretty sweet knife. Sorry if things are coming out weird. You guys are backwards to me. But during looking up these knives, I found that they also made an edition called the Tirani. Forgot his first name, but I'll call him Mr. Tirani. Knife fighting expert on other skills as well, I believe. But same plasticky handle, but ATS 34, which is becoming one of my favorite steels based on the Pro, the CSAR-T Pro. That's just, it's an awesome work knife. I've since bought another one in ATS 34. But yes, so you see there's some slight differences in the blade. 420HC, ATS 34. Got these serrations that aren't my favorite. I prefer these serrations because it's more like a bread knife. Just goes through. These ones tend to get snagged because they're so just straight up and down. They're rather deep. They're rather deep as opposed to this bread knife style. But I think this one does well at just tearing through things. I think this is more for self-defense, not for at work. I just want to cut some rope. This on skin would probably tear it up pretty bad. And if you're designed by a knife fighting expert, you're not fighting rope. You're probably going to be fighting a person. Also, he likes to give some. He likes to profile this, so it's very grippy. Not grippy like G10 or the handle material, but grippy on the blade. So maybe you didn't grab the knife perfectly in your pocket or off the ground. You may have grabbed it here. Very easy to whip this out. He also collaborated with 511 Knives on a similar knife. I don't know where it went. It's oh, here we go. There's a 511 pre-fence. So you can see the same blade profiling. Handles similar, but this one gives more of a swell in the palm versus this. I mean, you can't change that. It's a Strider collaboration, so it's going to be like that. Which I love this. I thought having a Strider would be weird, except for you grab it there and you can punch in, and this actually sits in your palm, and your palm ends up helping to push it in. So that's great versus the 511, which you get the same action. It's just rounder, but you also have this to grab onto. So that makes it great. Anyways, back to the Bucks. So I was able to find a second one of these. These are also pretty collectible. Also maybe in the 150 range. Really depends on who's selling it. One was, I think they were both buy it now. This one was slightly used in the beginning. The other one was brand new. Yeah. Now, this one, I can't wait to find another one. There's one guy in France selling it. I think, no, he's in Germany, but he's selling it for just a little more than I'm willing to spend. But it's the Buck Bravo with, see that tip? The Besh wedge by Mr. Bishara up in Canada. With also, I love those serrations. 154 cm, has the same handle as a CSAR-T, just without that Idaho tread. And it doesn't have, so you got the 1/4 inch driver, no 1/4 inch driver here, but that tip is awesome with that grind on that side and then that tip grind there, and it makes it very strong, at least in theory. I haven't really tested it, but I've definitely, I've dug around in the same stuff that I'll dig around with this one. So I'm not worried about breaking the tip, but I'm not going to put it in a vise or test it because I've only seen one of these pop up since, and it's just a little too much for me. Plus, you know, you can't trust everybody on eBay, so maybe it's a fake, maybe it's actually in worse condition than it's advertised, and I don't want to have to deal with that. And then you got, obviously I said it before, my favorite, the Buck CSAR-T Pro. Still carry it every day at work. Lock up 50%. I stopped doing the job of like prying into insulation and everything at the plant, so I actually gave it a very, very sharp edge, and then I had to go cut into some insulation. So I would say microchips, maybe rolled the edge. So I took it back down to a slightly more obtuse angle to where it's still sharp enough to do pretty much any task, but it's definitely no slicer, but it's something I could stab into sheet metal, you know, like a metal trash can or something like that. Not like a dumpster or anything, but like metal cans and stuff, and just go to town and not worry about rolling the edge or anything, because it is, instead of being so fine, it's a little wider. Still sharp at the edge, still very sharp, but wider, not so narrow where things could roll over or chip out. But ATS-34, and I'm a huge fan. Since I already got the this CSAR-T out, you guys can also kind of check out the family, CSAR-T family. Got the Pro, got the little fixed blade. Oh, what is that? Oh, lay down. Little fixed blade. Got that Pro. Got the big fixed blade. I believe they're same thickness, but obviously different blade lengths. And like I said in my first video with this guy, is that yes, this still is the pointiest of the CSAR-Ts. So pretty blunt as well, but in comparison that's still pretty sharp. But yeah, this is it's pretty comfortable. It reverse grip. I would love to like just take this out and pry around with it. It comes with a pretty cool sheath, and I'm thinking I'm gonna put this in a little pocket on the sheath. That way, and that'll just be my tough setup. Definitely not for the woods. That's for like breaking up boxes and maybe some pallets or something in the backyard, and I don't have a crowbar, but I want something I can cut with and break up stuff with. It is a cool little neck knife. I keep this in my, I have like EDC kit. It's got everything I need. Definitely like not for pocket carry or anything. Not the knife, but the EDC kit. It's a big old Maxpedition pouch. That big, I think it's called the beef pouch, beefcake pouch. I don't know, but keep that in my vehicle, or I keep that with me all the time. And this is just stuck in a little outer pocket, and it's pretty cool. And yeah, it's pretty thin and everything. I put the paracord on. It just comes bare bones, but that'll slide in the pocket. Very, very thin. All right, and that's only 3 out of the 4. I told you guys I'd sell it to somebody, and I did sell it. And then I bought another one. I don't have it. It must be in the other room. I'm not going to waste your time and go get it, and I don't know how to really edit a video very well. Anyways, it's the folder, but it came with the wood handles and the black handles. I don't know if I'll get around to ever using it when I have this and many other pocket knives, but I think I'll just keep it in the box and maybe I'll sell it again. But for now, I have the CSAR-T setup. Use this as a stand-in. Pretty much same size, and it got the same handle. That's not all the bucks. Hey, the red point, a little cheap, $20. That's what I use when I'm at work, because it has to be a certain knife that won't close on your fingers. So it locks close, locks open. It got all gummed up with grease. I was still able to take it all the way down. I want to take off the pocket clip, but I stripped the screws. But I took it all the way down, re-greased everything, and it works pretty good. But yeah, locks closed, locks open, so that's pretty cool. Bottle opener for when the job's done, and serrations. Got and I prefer this one to that other type of knife. Basically the same style, but the blade shape's different, the handle's a little different. But I think this feels a little better. This isn't like an all-day use knife. It's bulbous up here, but it clips, hangs off pretty well, and I think it's just a smaller profile in general than that other one. But there's that. Got the 110. Oh, I just got this at a pawn shop. I think I scored about 70 bucks. I think brand new. These things might go for upwards of 200, but it's not brand new, so a lot less people are going to want it when it's not brand new, especially for, you know, buck collectors. But this is the titanium handle, basically a titanium handled 110 with finger grooves, and I've always felt that the more grooves you put in a handle, the less customers you're going to attract, because if your hand's not set up for each of these grooves, which you may have noticed when I talked about the Kershaw Shuffle, when you start putting finger grooves in things, especially with that tan one, I don't like it. This one I assumed I wouldn't like, but it fits my hand perfectly. Here's a regular 110 size comparison. Pretty much the same knife. I think this blade might be a little better, bit bigger, like wider, but this one's also 25 years old. So who knows what it was like back then, but I don't think very much has gone to it after 25 years, and it looks great. The titanium looks great. It feels great in the hand. Looks like it's a little thinner in the handle, but I love it. Great find. I thought about selling it because I'm thinking about selling a lot of my knives, because one, I have a lot. I don't, obviously not going to carry very many of them. Some of them I just don't carry anymore at all. But might want to just use that money for getting an air conditioner and a truck, maybe, seeing as how summer is right around the corner. But I think that's it, guys. I think that's the bucks. How long did I take? 18 minutes? Seriously? Sorry. Tend to ramble on. I'll try and make my next videos a little shorter. Think about it more often. Oh, I do have it. Ha! I do got it. CSAR-T collection. Alright, ask any questions you got. Alright. See you guys later. Bye.